My name is David Daza.
And my name is Alberto Adames.
This is Voices of a Contemporary Theology. We have recorded
A few videos.
a few videos, so you can find it in the channel on YouTube, La Opinión de Orlando. But we're going to have a new channel, and the new channel will be called Voices of a Contemporary Theology.
Okay.
And you will find these videos in that channel.
Okay.
And we're also going to be broadcasting live in YouTube, also on Facebook. So if you can find us, Alberto Adames and David Daza in Facebook, and subscribe to us so that way you can receive a notice that we're live. So when we talk about
A lot of things. We talk about theology. We talk about the science behind the Bible. And those things are good. You know, we do it as a conversation. That way that you can, understand what we're talking about, and we can, communicate what is being said, what the people, the historians, the science is doing with the Bible.
That's
specifically.
right. It's like a critical view of the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
We believe, and the experts believe, that one is theology, but we need to separate theology from history, from science, from the critical reading of the text. We have recorded a video talking about the first chapter of Genesis, which basically describing the creation of the heavens and the earth. And in my experience, I think it's in the experience of many, see Genesis as the creation explained by God. And that's not the case, I don't think. It's inspired. We can say it's inspired.
Yeah.
But it's the view of this. We can see the science of the Hebrew people back in the day.
And I think that's what is important. When you did the video, you explained what the author was looking at, his science. The creation, in that sense, was something that it was step by step the way they believe it.
Yes.
So it is important to understand that, and we can talk about it. I mean, it will help you a lot.
Yeah.
You don't take it as today that the word is just inspired by God or dictated by God, because it's not going to help you. Because you're going to find that it is not. Is the inspiration is in there? Yes. But the description, what you see in that chapter is what the science that they believed at that time.
The science that they had at the time, what they believed. They believed this, and it was not just the Hebrew. The Hebrew inherited this belief from the Babylonians, from the Assyrians. That's what they believed back in the day. Their science of the day. They believed that the space was water. Everything was water. And as he says in verse 1, and the Spirit of God, or the breath, or the wind, the whirlwind of God, it was, moving the waters. Where at that time, when he started doing this, the description is clear. He's narrating the beginning, how God created heavens and earth. So that's what he's doing. He's the whirlwind of God, the wind of God, the Spirit of God is moving in the waters. And then it's creating the expanse, the space, the bubble of air.
So it's the space between the waters.
Yeah.
So what the author is looking at is just water, and inside the water is the wind is making a bubble by the Spirit. Yeah. Okay.
And that's interesting because they believe the universe. Well, we know what the universe is now, but at the time they thought it was water. And that's what when they believe in the universal flood, that the compartments of heaven open up. And the compartments of the earth open up, and they just fill the space. That space was filled with water. That's what they believe, because
that bubble that it was created at the beginning, that's what, water was.
This cosmology is important to understand, because we're going to be going into apocalypse, we're going to be going into a lot of...
what you're saying is the whole Bible is based on that cosmology.
Yes.
Okay, so when you see an author talking about anything about heaven and earth, it's going to be in there, looking at this science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Paul, when he talks about the first Adam that messed up the world, basically, he's believing the second Adam was going to redeem it, was going to make it better. And you can see in this chapter 1, we invite you to visit our channel, La Opinión de Orlando, in YouTube, and view this particular video where it talks about Genesis 1, when I'm going verse by verse, because this is important. We're going to go to chapter 2 in the next episode. But it's important, because what's happening here is Paul is seeing this creation in chapter 1. It's perfect. The world is perfect, created by God. The creatures that he created, they don't have to eat each other. That's why he gave them food, the vegetation. And we're so interested that he doesn't create the sun until day 4. But he creates vegetation in day 3. But don't they need sun to do the photosynthesis, to be able to live, basically? Yeah. So it's a different science. If we think that it was narrated by God, I would think that he would know. He would know what the space is. At that time, they didn't know. They didn't have telescopes. They didn't have the instruments of science that we have today. They thought they could see the sky and they can see the clouds, and they probably thought it was water, especially when the compartments of the heavens opened up and then the rain came down. They didn't understand how rain was formed. So that's what they believe. Okay. And they put the science of that, they put the sun and the moon and the stars
inside that bubble.
Inside the bubble.
Okay. And everything was moving inside the bubble. Yeah.
And the planet, the earth was flat. That's what they believe on this. And any scientists that contradicted, they got in trouble by the church. Even though the Greeks, they knew about this over 2,000 years ago, but the Christian took it over. So the Bible says it's flat, and it's flat, because that's what it seems to be, based on this narrative. So it's important.
And that's the issue that we have in right now. People are going to that narrative and they're saying that there is flat. And whatever the science says is not good. They're lying to us, and you have to understand that.
Yeah.
And they're making this as if the word of God and is perfect and it's like that.
Yeah. And that's what is important. That's the purpose of this program. This is exactly the purpose of what we're doing here. Because it's sad that some people, they want to impose their belief on other people. And that shouldn't be like this. That's why if somebody who is religious believes that the Bible should be interpreted literally, that's how we're doing it right now. We invite you to view the video of Genesis 1. You can find it in our channel, in Opinión de Orlando, the video. And you can also call us at 407-343-5005. 407-343-5005. You can call us, you can send us a text, and then we can direct you to this video. So if you have any question for us, we'll be happy to converse with you, to talk about these things, because I think that's the meeting of the minds is important.
Yeah.
Because that way we can understand each other, where we come from. Just because we don't believe the way that some people think we're supposed to believe, that doesn't make us bad or evil. We should respect one another, I think. And what I take out of this chapter 1 is talking about how God created the heavens and the earth. And it's based on the science of those days. And we can see that they didn't understand certain things about science, how it works. Because science is trying to explain our world, our universe. Thanks to this many scientists that they have come and gone, they have left us with that science of the things that they have discovered. And they also have invented instruments like telescopes. We have satellites up in space with telescopes that are so powerful that are able to tell us of other worlds, other galaxies. That they didn't understand. They understand that the stars that they saw and they thought it was in the atmosphere, they didn't think that it was so far away from us.
No.
And they thought, you can see in Apocalypse and Revelation, in the book of Revelation, that the author of the book says that the stars will fall like fruit from a tree. Of course, if that happens, we'll really be gone. There will be no heaven and no new earth. So another thing that I get out of this chapter is that God is, the word God is plural, it's Elohim. That's interesting because this is right here in the New International Version of the Bible, and that's the one that we're going to keep using for reference when we do our programs. Basically the same. All the Bibles are basically the same. But this one I think is more closer to the oldest manuscripts. It says that God created mankind in his own image. But he's talking about, so God created mankind in his own image, but this plural. It's as if it says the gods created mankind in their own image. That's the traduction, the real way of translating this verse. In the image of Elohim, they created them. Male and female, they created them. That's interesting to me. It's because a lot of reference of Elohim is as if if you read it theologically, many theologians, it's the plurality of God. It's like God is all in all. Is everywhere, so that's talking about Elohim. But
or they want to put the Trinity in there already.
Or the Trinity, yeah. That's not the case. If we can see
it's not the intention of the author in there.
That's not the intention of the author, not at all. And what we're thinking here is that, and there has been many changes on the scriptures, and even on the Hebrew scriptures, that we're going to go a little deeper down the road in other programs. But they believe there was also a female God. And it's obvious in this verse, to me anyway, when they say that Elohim created mankind to their image. So the gods created mankind, not just man, but mankind. They created it, male and female, in their image. So one of these gods is female. I think. I don't know.
No. And that's remember that there's a change from
many changes,
many gods to one God. It's a process. So it is there.
Yeah.
We're seeing it in the scripture itself. So
the same text in the Hebrew text, we can see. Many believers, many Christians believe that it is monotheistic, but that was not the beginning.
Yeah, those are the
it's not the case.
The lines that they're still there in the text.
Another thing, I think I'm repeating myself, but the paradise that he creates, right? Because this is basically alluding to the creation of the heavens and the earth. And when we go to chapter 2 and 3, we're going to get into the paradise part of this creation, right? But this creation, this narrative is after the one that we're going to read in chapter 2 and 3. So this came after. It seems like it was like there was another creation narrative, but we're going to put it before the oldest narrative, because it would make more sense, I guess. And the thing when he says so
you're talking about two creations in there.
Yeah, there's many creations in the Old Testament, but we're talking about the two creations in Genesis.
No, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, two creations. So.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Another thing that I get is that the animals didn't kill each other to eat, because God gave them fruits and seeds and plants for them to feed themselves. So there was no need to kill each other. That was not intended. So that's what we're going to get when we get into Paul theology. We can see that he's reading this text, I imagine, and he's seeing that this is the intention of God. But Adam's sin messed it up. Now animals, it's chaotic now. It's evil in the earth. They're killing each other, and there's death now. So that's important. This is the basics. I think this cosmology is important because it has some implication in Christian theology, in the apocalyptic movement that we're going to get into later on.
Interesting.
So you can visit us to La Opinión de Orlando in YouTube. We're going to start a new channel. It's going to be called Voices of a Voices of a Contemporary Theology. And you can visit us, Alberto Adames, or David Daza Facebook page, where we're going to be transmitting live anytime that we have that we get together and we broadcast a program live. You can also call us or send us a text to 407-343-5005. 407-343-5005. So that way you can communicate with us, send us a text, and if you want us to talk about any
particular subject, you can do it.
We're going to go ahead and address it.
All right. This is Alberto Adames.
Yo soy David Daza.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.